Oh yeah, I heard this. Try harder. Last day. Last day. We're leaving. We're going home. We're going home. I think I'm in focus. Okay. So I didn't even really record at Buffer this weekend. Saphira's laughing behind the camera. I didn't even record at Buffer this weekend. I'm very, very upset with myself. I was just so busy. Right now I have to thank Apprentice because they allowed me to be on staff this year. I was just volunteering, but they made me one of the lead volunteers, and I did lead volunteering for registration, and I had a team of volunteers with me, and they were all phenomenal, and it just means a lot to me that they hired me. Now anyways, on to this lovely story. So yeah, I haven't been able to vlog. I've just been so exhausted and so tired, and Saphira's already crying. It's hilarious. So we're trying to like get on the platform. We said bye to Mel, because we departed with Mel. We all stayed in a hotel together. And like
every year.
Yeah, this
like
chick.
Every year.
This chick. So like look at her, she's already dead. So she was we were all like getting ready to get on the train. We were like rushing, and then we had to like get on the elevator. And then Saphira realized, she's like, oh shit, we didn't tap. So I like gave she's like, give me your card, cause like I'll go tap for you. So I gave her my card. We see these two ladies, and I'm like, shit. I'm like, can you just hold the door? We forgot to tap. They're like, oh okay, yeah, it's fine. They were being super cool about it. And then we get on the platform. And I'm realizing, like, I have this giant suitcase because I was staying at Drew's, so I had clothes from Drew's for the week, and then I had clothes for the weekend, so I had a lot of clothes on me. And Drew, and I'm like, okay, I need like both of my hands free, so I put my phone here, and then I had this container, and it has exactly one little thing of it has exactly one little thing of plum sauce and one fucking chicken finger. One chicken finger. And it's in like a foam container, like the takeout containers. Yeah. And so I went to go hand it to Saphira, and she's holding it. I'm like, oh, can you like lift your ring? She's like, yeah, because like she has like this tiny thing compared to like my huge one. I'm not gonna show it yet. My huge one. Yeah. So I take the container from her, and there's this thing on top of it, and it's a buckle.
To like, you know, hold on.
And Saphira's like, no, you're gonna crush your thing. And I'm like, dude, it has one chicken finger in it. I don't care. So that's what I did. And I carried that on the train. And I shit you not. Like, it has one chicken finger. Like, what? So yeah, if you can tell, like, my voice is almost gone. Saphira's just dead. But yeah, as you can tell, Buffer was very, very long and exhausting and stressful and intense, and just a mix of emotions with Buffer. But like, we survived.
Yes, we did.
We survived.
Except we're tired, and it's gonna be one of our laughing jokes again.
Yeah, no, we already started at Union, so it's only gonna get worse from here.
And we have a what?
Yeah, you have 40 minutes. I have 50 roughly, because I have like the extra 15 minutes. So yeah, Buffer's been exhausting. I think. Because Thursday we didn't get a lot of sleep because me and Mel had to pick up people from the airport with other people, and we were there till roughly midnight.
You guys came in at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, we came in at 1. Whoa, that scared me. Yes. We came at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
See that? We took that so many times. The Up Express. so many times.
And back.
We were on it up and down constantly on Thursday, and Mel had to do Friday as well. So bye Up Express. I will never, ever, probably ever take you again. I got to the MTCC really early, and I was able to set up our stanchions, which we never had to use because my team was awesome and we didn't even have lines formed, so that was really, really cool.
I took my time.
You took your sweet ass time and relaxed and slept. Okay.
Okay, but
she
I did
had
help
Friday off. Let me get to that story.
No, I was sitting there and I was like, I might as well do something. I don't want to sit here all day. So I was like, okay, AJ, do you need me? He's like, no. Like, Victoria, do you need me? He's like, no. Like,
I
okay,
needed
well.
you after. You just fucking. I'm happy you just said, fuck it, I'm helping you. And I'm like,
yeah.
Please. So Friday.
Like, screw asking, I'm just gonna help her.
No, yeah. So Friday, I set up things. Saskia came in around, like she brought stuff in around 8, which I think that's when the volunteers maybe showed up.
9.
Or 9, yeah.
9.
They came around 9, and then, or no, it was 9:30 actually. They came around 9:30. Saskia dropped off a bunch of stuff for registration, and then we set up registration, and right away my team was like ready to go. We had so many people the first day. We had like this giant long table, and it was so intense and filled with people, and we were super quick. It was kind of slow, and then there was like a random couple of rushes, and then that same day, yeah, that same day I was working and kind of running back and forth between VIP and mine, and then kind of running around MPCC as well, because
and then I stopped you from running around because I was doing it for you.
So I was running around, and Saskia told me like, oh, like you do have a break between after your shift and the gala, but and this is
not happening.
This is where it gets kind of fun. Things started happening. And not gonna mention names, but certain people didn't know how to do certain things. So I basically took over the entire gala. And there was a couple of people that knew, and I worked with a couple of these crews. I forget the one guy's name, but he was awesome. He was running around. He was the one that was setting up like all the buffer signs and setting up all the banners and stuff. And then there was this other bigger dude, and he was basically on the inside making sure the guests, like letting people know when it was actually starting, getting people in there. But I was the one that had to control the attendees and the guests that came in, and then we discovered we only had received one copy of the actual guest list. So we had the wrong list in the VIP section because they were using just the registration list.
Which then they started giving vineyards to literally everyone on that VIP registration list and letting them go into the gala, which was not right.
Which was not right because we had asked people to send us our +1s, and they were still like, and this was realistic all around.
Yeah.
They were still adding +1s without telling buffer.
Yeah.
So we were like, well, this can't happen, and I was constantly messaging Saskia, and I was running around, and then I had to deal with red carpet because they weren't letting people walk red carpet, and these people were legitimately allowed to walk the red carpet, like they were told, and they even showed me like emails. So I had to specifically walk around and let these people in because they had walked to the red carpet. Yeah, it was essentially people that had gone to the dinner. So I had to do that, and it was really, really stressful. So I was running between going from registration to going to the attendee side to make sure no attendees were trying to sneak in, setting up the security team because they had no clue what was going on. So I had to set them up, and that security team was phenomenal. The head guy there was amazing. He was so kind. We worked together. He was phenomenal. And then from there, I had to run to guests. Kendra thankfully was able to be my right-hand man that night. Same with Zafira. And Kendra took over the list, and then we had another person, I think it was Cynthia, took over, but she helped Kendra, and it was a huge help, and they helped me not worry about the guests for the time being. So I was running around between the guests, the VIP, outside at the red carpet to make sure people were actually walking the damn red carpet, paying attention to people that needed to go through the elevator, paying attention to people that didn't want to walk the red carpet and getting them through so they could just go straight through, and then paying attention to the number of people that were coming through, and then making sure security was letting in the right people because sometimes they were just letting everyone in when general admission should have been on the other side. and they were just letting anyone in. And I was like, no, because we're not going to be able to fit everyone. And then like setting up my volunteers that were ushering people and just making sure this all ran smoothly. And then finally when the gala started, we had last minute stragglers, the last couple guests. And then I missed almost all the gala because we were just figuring out last minute people that were coming in. And then I got to sit there for a few minutes.
At like 9:30.
Yeah, we went in around 9:30. So we finally sat in, and the entire time I'm still on my phone because we're still dealing with other shit happening behind the scenes and making sure things are okay and like getting all these things fixed, and it was just so intense. And then I was like sitting there and I was shaking, and I was like, I need to go sit in a room by myself to just have this silence for 5 minutes. So I like told people, I'm like, I'm gonna go. I wanted to make sure our one room was still open. I went, it was still open. I talked to the security people, I like high-fived them because we got through. I was like, that was it. I sat there, just fucking put my head on the table and just like listened to nothing because it was just so calming. And then I had 2 people come in because they were late and I had to give them passes, but that was fine, whatever. And that was gala. And then I didn't sleep that night because what happened that night? Oh yeah, okay, we went to France.
We went to France, and you said you were going to go to the after party.
I said I was going to go to the party because they have the Relio party for YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's in like the hospitality suite that we had.
Yeah. Then you ended up going to France.
Yeah, I ended up going to Friends because I hadn't eaten, and everyone was like, you need to eat, and I hadn't eaten all day. And I barely drank water, so they were like, no.
Some alcohol.
Zafira gave me some alcohol because I really needed it.
Yeah.
And so we went to France. By the time we got home, it was like 3, 4 o'clock.
It was 2:30. By the time we went to bed, it was like 4.
Yeah, by the time we went to bed, it was 4 because that's why I didn't sleep. I had to deal with Ticketfly because for those of you who don't know, there was a huge DDoS hack that happened in the West Coast. And guess what? That affected Amazon, Twitter, Ticketfly, like just all these companies, they were all shut down. So Ticketfly was down for the entire day, and I had like 2 or 3 pages of names that I either had to comp tickets for, exchange, or even refund. And I didn't get any of these done until the next day or that night, because Ticketfly was finally up by the time we got back.
Yeah.
Because it was the next day and they were able to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I was finally able to exchange people, so I didn't get to sleep till about 4:30, and then I had to get up at 7.
With you, so.
Or no, I had to get up earlier than 7.
You had to be there at 7.
I had to be there at 7, so I was up at like 6:30.
Yeah.
And I had told my volunteers, like, don't come till later because registration doesn't open till 8, but I doubt anyone's gonna be there right away. And
basically what happened was they took the stands after we set up the room for the creator hall.
Yep.
So you had to go in earlier and reset up.
Yep. That was basically it. I had to go in earlier and reset up, but everything else, like our registration stuff, was already like pre-packed in the boxes. So all we had to do was just take them out of the boxes and put them on the table. So that was easy. That's why I told people to get later. But then of course my volunteer team, being the epic team that they are, people still came early, and we were able to be set up and ready to go. And I told people, like, go to the bathroom, get something to drink, because it's going to be a long day, because Saturday is always like the busy day. And we weren't we were busy.
That's why, because screenings and everything happened Saturday, Sunday.
And the panels, because we had the Charles and Shay panel right away in the morning.
Exactly.
So that happened, and the only way to get into the panels was to have a pass, and to get a pass you had to go through us, and that's the whole thing. And so we were super busy on Saturday, and it was just constant, and I'm so glad I had a great team. And then at the end of Saturday, I got to calm down a little bit. I got to go to the concert, and even during the concert, I was still dealing with stuff. I was messaging people. Went to dinner with Brian Lanning and Jeff and them, and that was really cool because Liz knows them, and Katie and I were just kind of calming down from our high of working and exhaustion, and they paid for dinner that night. And then Brian was craving poutine because that's literally all he ate all weekend. Brian just ate poutine. He's literally a poutine eating monster.
Yeah.
So that happened, and it was really sweet, and they paid for dinner, and I'm not expecting that. So I had even asked the girl prior, like, you guys take debit, right? And she's like, oh yeah, like we take everything. Yeah. So I was prepared, and they paid, and I was like, that's seriously generous. And Jeff was such a sweetheart, and Brian, so sassy, I love him. And yeah, so we didn't get in until like 4:30, 5 o'clock. And then I go to open the door, and my key doesn't work. So these poor fuckers had to deal with me. I had to go down. Security was not too happy that I didn't have my ID on me. And so I got in the room and I had to wake up Mel because she's the name on the hotel. So then she had to clarify that I was okay to be in the room, and that was it. And it was just frustrating because I had to get Mel up, and Mel had to be up by like 6.
Yeah.
So I felt really, really bad because then she had to like get up, go back to bed, and then get up again.
Yeah.
And then I got to sleep in for a couple hours because I got up at 7.
Yeah, and as soon as she left, you got onto the bed and just slept for a bit.
Yeah. So she left, I got on the bed, I slept till 7, 7:30. No, it had to have been 7.
7.
Yeah, it was 7, and
Because
then...
I remember you leaving at like 8, 8:50. You left, so I was like,
Yeah. So then 7 o'clock rolled around and I was like, okay, time to get up and go. And a couple of my volunteers were already there when I got there, and I was like, sweet, I love you guys so much. Oh no, registration's at 10. You're right, okay. So yeah, registration was at 10. I got there now. My team was already there, so we were good to go. And it was only the 3 of us because one of my volunteers got fired because they were doing their job. They were being very rude. I'm not going to mention their name because I'm not an asshole. But they got fired. They know who they are. They're being creepy and stalk people, so that's not very cool. Shut up. So yeah, they're not cool at all. That was super disrespectful, and that's not what you do when you're a volunteer.
Yeah.
So then and Sunday was so slow. We had nothing to do. The busiest we got was near the end because we had to take down all the signs and put them in the room, and then people ended up coming back to the room anyways to bring the signs downstairs to the green room, or well, the dressing room backstage. And then I had to take all the boxes downstairs as well, which I got a couple people to help me with. And then that was it. We closed registration. That was the end of registration. It was really cool. And then people were coming to the gala who still didn't have their lanyards because they were literally just coming for the short films gala. So I had to run backstage. The elevator wasn't working for like a good half hour.
It wasn't going down, it was going up but not down.
Yeah. So the elevator wasn't working, so I had to get someone to buzz me down. And it kept going all the way up and then all the way down. And we finally got backstage. So I was able to grab a handful, and by the time I got back up there, the elevators were working again, of course. So yeah, we dealt with that. We were running around backstage trying to make sure all the talent was there, and then getting people in, and then setting up the ushers and making sure everyone was good. And then the gala started, and it was nice and smooth. I mean, there was a bumpy start, but it was smooth till the end. As I was sitting in the theater with Liz, it kind of hit me, and I was like, this is it. And then Corey came out, and like all the YouTubers, and Sammy, oh my god, Sammy was the comic relief that night. And it was just nice to see these creators, and the Uplist winner who'd made a beautiful Toronto video, and the Arctic video we got to see, which we met Chris Hadfield that day, and he was super kind, and it was an honor to meet him. I mean, he's been to space. And now it's done, and it hit us after we brought everything back to the hotel, and then Saskia was like, okay, and then a bunch of us went to France, and we ate, and it was really nice, and we chilled, and I'm at the table, and I'm kind of like going like this, and Margaret was dying because she hadn't eaten, and she was just stuck in an office trying to freaking render these videos out. I didn't get it until 5.
Okay. So I was like, hell no, am I staying awake? Because I was falling asleep like 2 o'clock, so I'm like, no way. I put the card outside of that door.
Yeah, in our little awkward whole thing.
Yes. And I was like, right next to the door, the card's in there, so don't wake me up. I did not get in though, do you know?
We were together.
Oh, you guys came in together.
We ran into each other because Mel had to deal with, because Mel and Rachel, after the short films gala at the end, like after everyone like appreciated Corey's work and said, you know what, it happens, but Buffer is an amazing festival because of how it appreciates the content that people are making and the YouTubers, and it's appreciating these people to a whole new level because it's not just about the views, it's about the content they make, which is huge. Like that's
not about the celebrity or the community or the views, it's more about what they make, how they portray their images and things like that.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's what Tim said, right?
That's what Tim said. And I hope some people heard Tim's speech because it was amazing. Like everyone was just happy. We brought shit back to the hotel. And Mel and Rachel ran the gala that night because they were backstage making sure all the guests got there and just timing it out, and it was insane for them. So yeah, we brought stuff back to the hotel, we chilled, we got little survival kits from Saskia and Corrado. They're like, you get a bag, Corrado Oprah, as we like to call it. We went out to eat, we were dozing off, me and Margaret went back to the hotel because we were both heading in the same direction. And then we dropped our stuff off and we're like, you know what, let's go talk. We have to talk to people and just kind of hang out. And Megan, she was hilarious. She's kissing everyone's cheeks, just being funny. I got to see Brock and just got to have champagne with everyone and just celebrating that we actually fucking pulled off Buffer this year. Because I mean, there were things that happened and and Corey was just so happy at the end of that night. Like he was just bouncing off the walls, so happy. And he said, you know what, if we can pull this off, we're invincible. And he kept saying that, and you know what, after everything, I 100% agree with him. Like, if Apprentice, Saskia, Corrado, Brock, Margaret, Corey, like, Michael, Carmilla, like, if they can all pull this off, Mary, Stephanie, like, Katie, like, just all these people, if they can all pull it off, Nicholas, like, if they can all pull this off, and AJ,
Oh yeah.
if they can all pull this off, and if we can all get together and push Buffer, like, it was a bumpy ride because it was so different this year, and it's only gonna get better from here. Like, it's only gonna get better from here, and
like
that's
Corey
the
said,
thing.
we're not going anywhere. We're coming back next year, and the year after, and the year after that.
And it's gonna be in Toronto forever. It's Canadian.
It's all about
Well, we still have fangirls, but we don't do meetups anymore. We do red carpets, which is a lot safer. I just realized you're out of focus. I'm so sorry.
It's cool.
Now you're in focus.
You need this.
Yeah, I didn't get home till 5. Yeah, I didn't get home till 5 because we were having too much of a good time and talking to people and like telling them our experience and drinking champagne to celebrate. Sorry about that. Me and Mel were talking.
It's okay, no. The first time I woke up was when you climbed into bed, and I'm just like, okay, what is happening? Yeah. The first time I woke up was when you climbed into bed. I'm like, oh, okay, that's Victoria. Okay, cool. Went back to sleep. When I woke up again, and you guys were like whispering, like loud whispering, and I'm like,
whispering.
I was like, okay, these guys are talking. And well, first I woke up to open the door for Mel.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, went back to bed. And you guys were loud talking, like whispering, sorry.
No loud.
But I was kind of in and out of sleep after that.
Not really.
You tried to roll on me, but that did not go.
I told her, I was gonna roll onto you, but I was in an awkward position. I was like, Saphira's like here, and then I was like, I'm giving up on rolling on you now. Overall, how was your Buffer though?
It was okay. I mean, I expected to do more, but I'm thankful for the opportunity to get whatever I got.
Thank you for helping me.
Of course.
I appreciate that.
Like I said, that's what I'm here for. I'm here the whole weekend for everybody. So, no, but honestly, like, Buffer's just a thing. I block off this whole weekend every single year.
So,
And I moved my interview from Saturday to next week because I was like, nope, Buffer.
that's the thing. I had a staff badge, but I wasn't officially staff. It was just
Helping out.
I was helping out. I was a part of the staff team, but I was still a volunteer. I still volunteered to do this because I was so dedicated and I wanted to make sure things were okay. And I hope I did okay because I don't know the end result. We'll see how well we did, but people seemed really kind and people that attended were really kind. And we tried to be as understanding as possible. There was one case where I felt really, really bad, but this girl was like super cool afterwards and I was like, I'm really sorry for making you upset.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you remember her.
I remember her.
But yeah, she was really, really kind afterwards, and I'm like, thank you for understanding why this was hard for me, and we were able to still get her what she needed, and because Saskia came in, and Saskia, thank you, Saskia. I owe her a lot. Goddamn, Saskia is underappreciated.
She's so too.
That's what Corey said.
You know what? She's amazing. She's just everything by herself. Honestly, the amount of stuff that I did this weekend, I'm just like, imagine Saskia. This is literally my job.
Saskia was headquarters, as I like to call it.
No.
She was the brain game, and then Corrado as well, and just everyone. We're
just
done.
We're
done. We're
Let me show you what Victoria looks like here. This is Victoria right now. Just lounging.
We're gonna unclip it. Let's get this little guy.
Oh god.
I want to show you. See? That's all that was in there. Oh yeah, there's a deep fried pickle. I forgot to add there was a deep fried pickle. I don't want to add her. No.
Did we just stop recording?
Delete. No.
Okay.
It's called editing.
Yes, I know.
Oh no. When your train is so full, you have to stand.
Who, Mel?
Mel.
Oh my god.
Nicole, another one of my favorite babies. My babies? One of my favorite volunteers. One of my favorite volunteers.
Clearly she needs sleep.
My babies. She's my baby.